evening to our viewers watching on television and those joining us online across our social media platforms. I am Adana Doric with the Monday 4th edition of the Guyana TV9 News. In the headlines tonight, Guyana stands firm at ICJ, urges Venezuela to respect international law. Trust your preparation, Education Minister motivates seaside candidates nationwide. Murder, rape, and robbery rates drop significantly. Police report 20% overall crime reduction. And government pledges stronger press freedom while urging media responsibility, says Prime Minister Phillips. Now for the news in depth. Guyana has reaffirmed its commitment to abide by the ruling of the International Court of Justice (ICJ) as hearings continue in the long-running border controversy with Venezuela. The court, which sits at the Peace Palace in The Hague, is currently considering its case on its merits, with a final judgment expected in the coming months. More in this report.
Leading Guyana's delegation, Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd told the court that the country has placed its full confidence in international law and the judicial process. He emphasized that Guyana respects the authority of the ICJ and remains committed to a peaceful resolution of the decades-old dispute through legal means.
Mr. President, members of the court, it is Guyana's submission that the 1899 award is without question legally valid and binding on the parties, and that the 1905 boundary agreement is legally valid and binding on the parties. It is Guyana's submission that none of the arguments Venezuela has raised prior and during these proceedings against the award or the agreement has any merit whatsoever, and that Venezuela's challenges to the award and the agreement are, in any event, decades, no, a century too late to be raised as a matter of international law.
Todd also highlighted previous decisions by the court, which upheld the jurisdiction and confirmed that Guyana's claims are admissible, describing those rulings as grounded in the proper application of international law. He maintained that these developments reinforce Guyana's position that the matter should be conclusively settled by the court. However, the minister criticized Venezuela's approach, accusing the Spanish-speaking nation of attempting to undermine the proceedings. He pointed to objections raised and dismissed by the court in 2020 and 2023, as well as the 2023 referendum in which Venezuela rejected the ICJ's authority and sought to assert control over the Essequibo region.
Despite Venezuela's persistent efforts to stop us from getting here. First, it objected to the court's jurisdiction based on a strained and untenable reading of the 1966 Geneva Agreement, which the court soundly rejected in its judgment of 18 December 2020. Then it objected to the admissibility of Guyana's claims. The court again resolutely rejected this effort in its judgment of 6th of April 2023. Unable to derail the case, Venezuela decided to take matters into its own hands. In late 2023, it purported to stage a so-called national referendum seeking popular support for rejecting the jurisdiction of the court and disassociating itself in advance from any judgment the court might issue on the merits of the case.
According to Minister Todd, Venezuela has since taken steps that contradict provisional measures issued by the court, including legislative and administrative actions targeting the disputed territory. He warned that increased military activity near the border and ongoing tensions pose a threat to Guyana's security and have also discouraged foreign investment due to prolonged uncertainty. Affirming Guyana's legal position, the minister told the court that the 1899 arbitral award and the 1905 boundary agreement remain valid and binding under international law. He stressed that Venezuela is obligated to respect the established boundary as Guyana continues to press for a final and definitive ruling to bring an end to the controversy. Melanie Morris, Guyana TV9 News.
Guyana's transformation from near economic collapse to one of the fastest growing economies in the world did not happen by chance. It was the product of deliberate policy choices, sustained reforms, and long-term vision that reshaped the country's trajectory. Here's more.
Speaking on the Starting Point podcast, Senior Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh traced this journey, pointing to decades of disciplined governance and strategic planning that repositioned the nation on the global stage. According to Singh, the roots of today's prosperity lie in the leadership of the People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC, which took office in 1992 at a time when Guyana's economy was in severe distress. The country, he explained, had slipped beyond the brink of bankruptcy during the 1970s and 1980s, leaving the incoming administration with the urgent task of stabilizing finances, restoring institutional credibility, and rebuilding international trust. The early years were marked by difficult but necessary decisions, structural adjustment programs, collaboration with international financial institutions, and efforts to secure concessional financing formed the backbone of recovery. These measures were not quick fixes, but part of a broader strategy to restore fiscal discipline and lay the groundwork for long-term sustainability. Reflecting on that period, Singh emphasized the resilience required to execute such reforms.
And so we went through several years of initially IMF programs, structural adjustment programs, mobilization of concessional financing. At that time, putting ourselves in a position that would make us eligible for debt relief, making ourselves eligible and qualifying ourselves for additional financing, all within the context, like I said, of restoring fiscal solvency and the effort to achieving fiscal sustainability. And those were tough years, but we did the hard work.
As reforms took hold, Guyana began attracting both domestic and foreign investment. The government focused on creating a favorable environment for investors, implementing policies that encouraged capital inflows and private sector growth. Over time, these efforts paid off, culminating in heightened global interest, particularly following major development in the oil and gas sector. Today, Guyana stands out not only within the Caribbean, but across the globe for its economic performance. Singh underscored this achievement with a bold assessment.
We are today in a place where Guyana is and has been the fastest growing economy in the world, has been growing, has been outperforming, not only outperforming all comparators, but has been dominating global economic growth performance and global economic growth projections. If you look at the regional economic outlook published by the International Monetary Fund for the Western Hemisphere, if you look at the World Economic Outlook, published also by the International Monetary Fund, both of those publications were updated during the spring meetings. And then, of course, the UN ECLAC just issued updated economic projections recently too. You see Guyana outperforming every other country in the hemisphere in terms of real economic growth.
Importantly, this progress extends beyond oil and gas. Investments in agriculture, tourism, and infrastructure are diversifying the economy, while local entrepreneurs are increasingly seizing new opportunities. The result is a broader transformation, one that is not only reflected in statistics, but also in the everyday experiences of Guyanese citizens as the country evolves into a dynamic hub for investment, innovation, and long-term development. Melanie Morris, and TV9 News.
A 19-year-old man, Nathaniel Joel Bushgid, died after losing control of his vehicle and crashing into a parked truck in quarantine Berbice. He was rushed to hospital but succumbed to injuries. Reports suggest they swerved to avoid another vehicle. A post-mortem is pending as investigations into the fatal accident continue. We will be back after this short break. Stay tuned.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by June 30, 2026 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Persons eligible for registration must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for their area of residence to apply. Persons who are already registered could apply for a name change if they have changed their names since they were registered, apply for corrections if there is incorrect information on their national ID cards. Persons who are desirous of conducting any of the above transactions must provide the relevant supporting documents. Persons who are already registered must collect their new ID cards if they have not yet done so. This registration exercise will end on May 29, 2026. You need to apply for a transfer if you now live at a different address than the one you were registered at. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy. GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. If you have moved to a new address since you were registered, you are required to update your address by applying for a transfer to ensure your address is accurate. Where to apply for a transfer? Visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to apply for a transfer. When to apply for a transfer? You can apply to have your address updated during this national registration exercise. This registration exercise will end on May 29, 2026. The office hours for GECOM are: permanent registration offices open Monday to Thursdays from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 16 hours 30, and on Fridays from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Welcome back. You're watching Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. As grade 11 students across Guyana begin sitting their written Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) examinations, Minister of Education Sonia Parag has issued a message of encouragement, urging candidates to approach the milestone with confidence, focus, and self-belief after years of preparation and sacrifice. Here's more.
The Education Minister noted that the moment marks a significant step for thousands of students who have been steadily preparing since lower secondary school. She highlighted the effort put into coursework, school-based assessments, and long hours of study as the foundation for the examinations now underway. Addressing students directly, Minister Parag offered a motivating charge as they enter the exam period.
So I want you to pull your shoulders back, hold your heads up high, and walk into those exams confidently. Block out the noise, block out the distractions.
She further reminded students to remain focused and block out distractions, emphasizing that their consistent work since grade 10 had already equipped them for success. She expressed full confidence in their abilities and encouraged them to rely on the preparation they have already completed. In offering practical advice for managing exam stress, the minister noted the importance of composure and mental clarity. She advised students to stay calm in moments of anxiety and maintain focus throughout each paper.
Believe in your own abilities, because I do, and I know that you will be successful.
Minister Parag extended best wishes on behalf of the government of Guyana, stating her belief in the students' success and encouraging them to approach their examinations with determination, confidence, and pride in their hard work.
Guyana is seeing a measurable drop in serious crime as the Guyana Police Force ramps up enforcement efforts and strengthens intelligence-led operations across the country. More in this report. Speaking on the new police roundup program, Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicken stated that the force has recorded an overall 10% decrease in serious crime, reflecting the impact of targeted policing strategies and increased coordination among divisions. He explained that several major crime categories have shown improvement.
Robbery at the arms, we have a minus 7% decrease, and that's 7.85. Rape, which is now me high, 53 against 87, we have a minus 49%. And break it into last week, which covers most of the crime in the country and pair up the stats. We have a minus 50%. Firearms, we have taken away 51 as against 38 for last year.
Commissioner Hicken noted that these gains are not accidental, but the result of deliberate planning and execution. He pointed to intelligence-led policing as a key driver, allowing officers to identify patterns, respond more quickly, and prevent crimes before they escalate.
Command centers across the region. And so it's moving from a safe city to a safe country. Now, for those persons who are inclined to do the wrong thing, despite you wearing masks and the rest of it, the cameras will find you. We are going to find you, and you're going to be charged, and you're going to go before the court. My suggestion to you is to stop.
The police have also increased patrols and carried out coordinated operations across multiple regions, focusing on areas identified as high risk. According to the commissioner, these actions are helping to create a stronger sense of security for communities and businesses alike. While highlighting the progress, he emphasized that the work is ongoing. The Guyana Police Force is aiming to push crime rates even lower in the coming months through continued enforcement and strategic deployment of resources. Authorities say public cooperation remains essential as timely information from citizens continues to play a critical role in solving cases and preventing criminal activity. The police force has reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining public safety and building on these gains as efforts continue to ensure safer communities across Guyana. Adana Dor, Guyana TV9 News. We will be back after the short break. Stay tuned.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 Building.
Guyana, Channel 9 is now Guy TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, prime time, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guy TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamaha Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Welcome back. You're watching the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips has reaffirmed the government's commitment to upholding and strengthening press freedom in Guyana, while emphasizing the need for responsibility, accuracy, and integrity within the media. He made the remarks on Sunday during a media appreciation luncheon where he underscored the vital role of journalists in maintaining a healthy democracy. Addressing media professionals gathered for the observance of World Press Freedom Day 2026, the Prime Minister described the press as a cornerstone of democratic society. He noted that as Guyana marks its 60th independence anniversary, the occasion provides an opportunity to reflect on the institutions that have supported national development, with the media playing a key role in informing the public, promoting accountability, and safeguarding the national interests. Phillips also pointed to the evolving challenges confronting the media landscape, including the rise of misinformation and disinformation, the impact of digital transformation, and the growing use of artificial intelligence. He cautioned that the demand for speed in reporting must not come at the expense of accuracy, stressing that journalists, media institutions, and citizens all share responsibility to protect the integrity of information. The minister highlighted what he described as a progress in the relationship between the state and the press, noting expanded civic space and strengthened democratic practices. From a policy standpoint, he said the government remains focused on creating an enabling environment for press freedom, including investing in training and development through initiatives such as the Guyana Media and Communication Academy. He further acknowledged the role of international press freedom assessments, while pointing out that such reports may not always fully reflect local realities. As Guyana looks beyond 6 decades of independence, Philip stressed that a free and responsible media will remain essential to national progress, urging continued collaboration between the government and the press to support development, human rights, and public interests. Adana Doric, Guyana TV9 News. Turning to regional news, 3 passengers on the MV Hondias cruise ship have died and another is critically ill after a suspected hantavirus outbreak. Several passengers fell ill during the voyage, triggering emergency medical response. Health authorities are investigating a possible rodent-borne source, while containment measures are underway. Further details are expected soon. Internationally, about 150 Nigerians in South Africa have registered to return home as anti-migrants. Protests intensified in major cities. Nigeria's government plans voluntary repatriation amid safety concerns. Officials are gathering details of affected citizens while condemning xenophobic violence. Diplomatic talks continue, but uncertainty remains over evacuation, timing, and funding arrangements for return flights. Those are major headlines for tonight's newscast. For more trending stories, follow us at our Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube platforms at GYTV9. I'm Adana Doric. Thanks for watching.